The first time I put on a pair of work suspenders, I was 15 years old and I went to work logging with my dad. And I wore them. I didn't think a thing of it because that's what loggers wore. Now fast forward about 22 years and I moved back here from Las Vegas after working construction. Went back to logging with my dad, bought in with him, put on suspenders again, and I've never worked a day since without having suspenders. Whether I'm carpentering, welding, logging, sawmilling, whatever I'm doing, suspenders are the way I work. We did a video on this a couple years ago, and I think I converted a few of you guys, but maybe the most unlikely conversion story when it comes to suspenders is my cameraman, Brady Winder, skinny, $140 on a heavy day. And he thought after he got home and helped me edit the video, he said, maybe I'll try those. And so he tried them. He thought, well, maybe I'll try them a little longer. And you know what? It's about 2 years later, and Brady Winder wears suspenders every day, but he hasn't quite got courage to wear them on the outside of the shirt. He wears them underneath. We're going to go through a whole laundry list of different types of suspenders and why they may work for you or why you may want a different variety, but I'll just tell you this. I got these this week, and these are the ones that I'm going to be riding probably till they bury me. Buckin Billy Ray Smith has them made, got his brand on the back. He designed them. I like them. But let's get started on the other choices that might hold up your pants in a pinch. So there's several variables which make it inescapable that it's like, pick your favorite flavor, right? I mean, there's comfort and there's toughness and how long they last and durability, but what it gets down to is whether they hold your pants up and whether you're pleased with how you can function in them. So maybe I'll recommend this, that you start with the cheapest. If you've never put on a pair of suspenders in your life and you're afraid to, or maybe you're a best man in somebody's wedding and they give you this $8 pair by Jimmy Jins. There's a great name. Amazon, $8. It's an inch wide. I mean, they probably will hold up a light pair of pants. And the clip-on is something that when it slips off and it comes back, it's going to put a welt on somebody. But this is what Brady started with when he thought he'd give it a try. Not much invested, not much of a chance. 1 inch wide, stretchy, clip-on, right? Okay, entry level, maybe so. The step up for that's a head nod to World of Work is by Dickies. They sell a bunch of workwear. I never find myself wearing it. I don't know, but this is their version of a work suspender, and I can just tell that elastic is going to quit. I don't know if you'll get 3 months or 6 months out of those. But if they're stretched to begin with, pretty soon they're going to be permanently stretched. It looks like the adjustment is adequate, like it'll probably hold. And once again, that's a heavier clip. But the idea is that it just goes onto your pants, wherever you grip them, and you push that down, and that'll hold for a while, right up until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you're back to this. Pow! So, I mean, check your liability coverage, guys, because somebody's going to get an eye put out when that lets go. But, it's not a bad way to start, maybe. Okay, so on the video we did about suspenders, I kind of poked a little fun at you belt and suspenders guys. I mean, we can have a little fun around here, right? And since then, reading the comments, if you wear any sort of a holster on your belt, you can't switch to suspenders. And so belt and suspenders maybe is a solution to keep your shirt tucked in, keep everything up where it goes. You don't have to have your belt cinched down super tight, so your holsters for Leatherman or, personal protective tools. You've got to have those when you've got to have those. So in that case, you need some sort of a suspender that will hook onto either the belt. See, the belt rides in there. That hooks under the belt and holds it up. Or right here. These are not bad. Except for the name of the outfit. This is manufactured by Aoshush. What kind of a company is Aoshush? I don't know, but that's a pretty good little, that'll just clip right into your belt loop itself, and the belt can ride through there. And I'll tell you what really made me stop and consider, actually, let me drill down a little further. There is the length adjustment, seems pretty positive. These things cost $15. The Dickies cost $20. These things cost $20, so you get the price range. But the thing that made me sober up and realize I shouldn't make fun of belt and suspenders guys is Roland Guthrie. Now, Roland Guthrie lives right around here. He helps me out all the time. He's Ken Jordan's friend. He's the best welder that I know. And he's a very, very serious trade guy. If you ask Roland to do something, he's going to do it. It's going to be done exceedingly well. And he's a belt and suspenders guy. And he's trim and he's strong. And sometimes he has to wear equipment on his belt and suspenders on his pants. So I repent. Sorry for the guys I made fun of. But you got to start thinking about spending 15 to 20 bucks even at an entry level for something that's really going to keep everything where it goes. All right, now the undershirt category. If you just can't let the world know that you're a suspenders guy, I get that. This is by that same Jimmy Jin's outfit. And I mean, with that adjustment in the front, they're going to know you're wearing suspenders, right? I mean, that is going to be obvious. The clips onto your belt loops. I mean, it's a decent idea if that plastic is tough enough to not break. So I don't know about the durability there. I don't know about the durability of the elastic itself. This I know is plastic. These cost 13 bucks, probably worth every penny. These belong to my skinny cameraman. He's been wearing these and he likes them. He likes the attachment that slides onto his belt loops. He likes the way they stretch, the way they fit, and they are not, he doesn't telegraph to the world that he's becoming an old man. You see, the front all the way down is smooth, right? Nothing embarrassing sort of telegraphing under his t-shirt. And so he's sold on this. He likes this size extra large, even though he is far from extra large. He says it fits him, and the adjustment has all been down here. So these are work tested by Brady, the videographer. He's very good at that, by the way. And so I don't know how much these cost, but they are by style number Upfitter. Upfitter by Hikers, fitted suspenders. So check that out and tell him Brady sent you. So one more unique one that kind of bridges the gap between dress suspenders or pretend suspenders or undershirt suspenders and work suspenders is these trucker suspenders. So you don't have anything pushing against the small of your back, against the seat or against the backhoe seat. They grab on the sides. Now these aren't adjusted, but I've always been curious. And yeah, probably. I think these are 20 bucks. This is that weird brand again, the Iosush, 15 bucks. You know, might be worth trying it. Don't expect them to last very long, but probably somebody sells a grown-up version of these things. And while it would not help a plumber because it's not going to keep your shirt from coming untucked as well, it would keep your pants up. And it wouldn't, it wouldn't put a saddle sore in the middle of your back when you got 800 miles a day for a month straight. All right, so these are the suspenders I've been wearing for the last 20 years. I fooled around for about 5 years with miscellaneous, suspenders. And then I found Welch's, and they're excellent. They're between 25 and 35 bucks for a pair. And the cowhide attachments to the braces themselves are very good. And the locks are very good. And the elastic lasts a good long time. Now, the black ones turn brown in the sun. I get about 3 years out of these. But I have nothing but high regard for Welch's. And if it wasn't for the fact that Buckin Billy just sent me this pair, which I think I can officially tell you are the last pair of suspenders I'm ever going to need, these are excellent. And so once you're familiar with suspenders and you want a pair of work suspenders that's going to really do it, it's going to feel good, it's going to work good, Welch's, I think, is the way to go. Okay, now we're into bachelor button territory. A serious work suspender. Now a flat button will do it. Riggs, pants, Wrangler, Riggs, they have flat buttons on the inside of the belt band. And Buckin told me this morning that he sews flat buttons on the back of his pants so that the bachelor buttons don't gouge him when he's driving Myrtle. That all makes sense, but that's what these things do. They slip around a button on your pants. And so once you're hooked up, buddy, you are hooked up. When these are new, and especially with Buckin's, which has a thicker type of leather right here, you think, well, I'll never get that over a button of any kind. And so get out your Leatherman or any needle nose plier and just put it in there and just kind of work them a little bit, and then they'll slip over the button. So do that. But this is a Y back. I like a Y back. It goes to a single strap down to the middle of your back or up between your shoulders, and then it's kind of held together when it goes over your shoulders so they don't tend to slip off. It's important that that point is high enough, okay, to keep them from slipping off. But anyway, I'll brag about Welch's all day. They're a great suspender, and like I say, if I'm repeating myself, I would get about 3 years out of these. That's about $10 a year. Last but not least, Buckin Billy Ray Smith. He's got a YouTube channel. He's out of Vancouver, BC. I've been up there once. He and his wife, Wendy, have been down here once. I like him. I wish we lived closer. He's a logger, he's a tree climber, and you can get a lot of good inspiration from the guy on his channel. So you got to check out his channel. He really knows how to cut. He really knows how to log. And he can get off the ground and take a tree apart piece by piece and get it to the ground safely, and he knows his moves. He's impressive. And I love his worldview. Be kind, okay? Acts of kindness. These things are cool. And he's a musician. And he sent me these suspenders. These are lifetime suspenders. He's got a leather worker in Spokane. Grant Pemberton works out of his garage. You got to love that. Must be a side hustle, I don't know. But this is USA tanned leather. It's heavy, it's stout. All of the attachments are solid brass. It's never wearing out. If this ever gets hung up on a lathe, it's going to wind me up before it tears loose. If you order a pair of these, and they're not cheap, it's a buy once, cry once thing, right? When you first try to put that on your button, you're going to think that leather is never going to flex enough to do that. So get out your Leatherman or go to the drawer and get, a pair of needle nose pliers and just kind of work it a little bit. And then it'll go on without too much trouble. And once you're connected, you're connected. Now, Buckin's got the measurements. There's a measurement from your buttons in the back to the midpoint of your shoulders where the Y-back splits. He's very fussy about that distance. It's got to be right. See this down here? This can be adjusted too, but it's with a screw and a she-bolt and a screw rather than, a buckle. But these look like something that my leatherworker friend Steve Harris would make, or at least would be pleased with. That's as high a praise as I can give. They're never going to wear out. That's worth something, right? I wore them out in public for the first time last night. Wes Mello, a friend of mine, got out of his car, turned around. The first thing he said was, "Where'd you get those suspenders?" And I said, "Well, actually, Buckin Billy Ray Smith gave me those suspenders." So suspenders are a thing. Work is a thing. Suspenders in work are made to go on pants that are made for work. Work that can put you in a spot where you're going to get scraped or banged or cut if you're not wearing the right kind of gear. Work clothes are gear. Suspenders are gear. Look at that. Usually the pocket he puts on there holds the screwdriver he uses to adjust the carburetor on his power saws. That's what he calls them, his power saws, not chainsaws. It's a Canadian. He's got a bit of a brogue, and I love it. It's got these rings. You can hang your keel off of that if you're marking logs, or if you're marking top plates, or, he pointed out to me, that's a pretty good spot, if I could get used to this, to hang your safety glasses. If you want safety glasses close by, that's not bad. Anyway, thanks, Buckin. These are great. They're way past great. If I would have bought this pair 20 years ago instead of switching to Welch's at $25 to $30 a pair, I'd be money ahead today. And I would still have years left in gray. But suspenders are a thing. They're working for you all the time. And that's a good thing, because one of the things that'll keep us out of trouble as men is if we're working all the time. Why not let your clothes reflect your personality? Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman. Keep up the good work.